And what is going on, everyone? Welcome into a new edition of the Zen Frenz Podcast. We are so excited to have a new guest for you here today, and that is the dog mom behind the amazing viral Instagram account that we've been collaborated with for over 5 years, and that's going to be Coda the Canine Yoda. We have dog mom Sneha Desai here today to join us. We are so excited to have you, Sneha. How are you doing today?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me, and I'm very excited as well.
Amazing. So you're out of Houston, Texas, is that correct?
We are. We've been living here since 2008, my
Okay.
husband and I, but we adopted Coda in 2014 when we got married.
Amazing. All right. So first question, where are you from and what led you to Houston, Texas? How did you find your way there?
Wow, that's a long story. I was born in Singapore,
Wow. I've
and
been, I've been.
amazing, right? Amazing country.
Yeah, I mean, the architecture there is second to none. You feel like when you're going there, the height of the buildings, the Marina Bay Sands, the finance district, how clean the streets are. I heard that
Yeah.
you literally can get arrested for spitting gum on the floor. That's a rumor I've heard there. But yeah,
Yeah, well, that might be a little stretched. You won't be arrested, but you will definitely be fined.
okay, all right, good.
Mm.
We needed some clarity there, you know.
Yeah, so I moved to India when I was 7, and then I moved here for college. And I came to the University of Houston for my internship, and I loved it. I loved Houston so much that I decided to stay. And I met my husband in Houston, and he moved here for work. So
Hmm.
our paths crossed, and here we are.
Easy enough. Where in India did you live? I've never been there before myself, but we do have a team member that works with Zen Friends now. His name is Reddy Mudugulam, and he's from the southern part of India, so we talk about it all the time.
Yeah, I'm from the western part of India. It's a state called Gujarat.
Okay,
And if you know where Mumbai is, because a lot of people know where Mumbai is, it's about 200 miles from Mumbai.
200 miles. Okay. Any recommendations? Would you recommend we visit India one day, and if so, what parts?
I mean, I would recommend you visit India only during the winter because the summers can be really brutal. And even though I live in Houston, Texas, which is
Yeah,
hot,
that could get brutal too.
very hot, I would say that the heat in India is a little worse just because it does get hotter and you might not find air conditioning everywhere. So. Yeah, but if you do go, I think if you love beaches, then Goa is the place to be.
Goa. Okay.
If you want to see the Taj Mahal, then you would go to Agra, which is in the north. And if you want to visit beautiful temples, the south. And then if you wanted to go hiking into the mountains and beautiful landscapes, then you would go to the east.
It
That's
has
it right
everything.
there. Yeah. That's like
Yeah.
perfect explanation. If you want this, go to the east part. If you want that, go to the north side. You want that, the south, the east. It's all laid out right there.
Yeah. Take your pick.
Amazing. So what brought you to Houston? What were you studying at the time?
I was
And
studying.
that's a very far trip that you took to come all the way to Houston from India. So that's a big commitment. I'm sure you were taking at that stage of your life.
Well, I have always, as a child, wanted to major in psychology. I was the agony aunt for everyone. Everyone would come tell me their problems, and I
Did you
loved
say
solving
agony
them.
aunt? I love the
Yes.
term. I feel like I identify with that too.
Yeah, yeah, I don't know if that was a popular term here, but the magazines in India use that a lot for the columns where you write in with a problem and someone's like answering them for you. And it would be called the agony ant columns. So I loved reading those columns.
Hmm.
And then I pictured myself one day answering people's questions in a magazine,
There you go.
but it was obviously it manifested itself into me taking up psychology. And at that time, it's a little better now, but at that time, psychology was not a thing in India. Most people were not really familiar with mental health and how we should take care of ourselves, and there were not that many professionals. So I knew that in order for me to fulfill my dreams, I would have to go to a country where, that is a thing. And the US seemed like the best choice for me.
So I took a psychology class my junior year of high school. Very fascinating, though, to talk about just the science behind things and the way things work. And by far the most prominent figure that I remember from the class was Sigmund Freud. We learned about
Hmm.
like Freudian slips and different things like that. And it was more so like very science based, I can remember, for why things are the way that they happen and little triggers and things like that. I don't know why this is coming to my mind, but I remember at the time, like weird things in life, like you don't have to go to the bathroom for an entire road trip, but as soon as you get out of the car and you get home, your body's ready to go right away. Why is that? What's the psychology behind that? Or dreams, like trying to explain
Yeah.
dreams and the REM cycle that's behind the different types of dreams that you have and what goes into that as well. Really, really fascinating stuff.
Hmm.
I'm a believer in a lot of that stuff too, right? It's like if you test it out enough times, there should be some sort of scientific reasoning behind the way things are, especially with the human brain and the body, which is very complex.
Exactly. That's the word I was going to use. It's so complex that we could keep studying about this for ages and still not have some questions answered, right? So, yeah, it is very fascinating. And then as you advance further and further, you can specialize
Hmm.
what type of psychology you want to do. So I picked clinical psychology, which is to do more with emotional disabilities and emotional challenges, rather than the science, like not the brain, like not a neurosurgeon would be doing something else, a
Hmm.
psychiatrist would be doing something else.
Amazing. So, do you think the classes that you took in university prepared you for what was to come later, or what was your experience like that with the courses that you took, especially coming from so far away? You're reading these
Hmm.
magazines, you're inspired, you have a vision of what you think it's going to look like, but how was that preparation like for you at the time?
So I think that the classes that we took in India were not really that relevant to the practice now. So I did have to take a lot more classes when I got here. And in India, we received no practical experience because there was really no place to go get practical experience.
Hmm.
So I furthermore learned a lot when we started getting placed in practicum placements and internships and things like that. So it is definitely more of a situational learning than textbook learning.
Yeah, and I'm a big proponent of that myself too. Hands-on is the best way to learn something. That me
Hmm.
personally, that's the way that I absorb information. If you give me something to do, I'm gonna learn much better than just telling me
Hmm.
about it and trying to memorize it. That muscle memory
Correct.
is really key. So you graduated, you had inspiration for psychology, you fell in love with Houston, Texas, enough to be able to stay there, and also met your future husband in university as well too. So how has your career progressed since you were in university, and what area are you mostly focusing on now?
So after university, I did work at um, a private practice
Okay.
here in Houston. And during COVID, I no longer went in for work, right? Because of everything shutting down and all of
Right.
that. I will tell you that while I was practicing in person, Coda came to work every day with me,
Oh, beautiful.
and that
Aw.
was amazing. He wasn't really certified as an emotional support dog, but he does have the temperament. He is very calm, he's very loving and intuitive. So if any of my clients started crying or raised their voice, he would immediately go up to them and sit next to them so that they could pet him. And so I was known as the doctor with the dog
Oh
instead
my
of my
The
goodness.
name.
dogter.
Yeah.
Yeah, the doctor.
Aw.
So when new clients would call the office, they would say, "Oh, we want to make an appointment with the doctor who has the dog." And most people even forgot my name because obviously my
The
name's not
doctor with
that
the dog.
common. Yeah, but I was known as the doctor with the dog or Coda's mom, right? And so that was an amazing experience. I actually loved working so much just because Coda was me during my 30-minute commute, and he was there the whole time with me. So if I had a no-show or we had some free time, we would actually like do get on the floor and play in my office. So we were
Amazing.
even able to do that. And then COVID hit, so I could no longer go in. So I started practicing virtually. So Coda was still with me, obviously, when I'm virtual, but it's not the same
No,
because
no
now
way.
I'm working from my house and he decides he wants to sleep in the closet or, he wants to sit out and sunbathe. And so he had more choices than to just sit in his TP at my old office. So he still is with me, as you saw at the beginning. I showed you that Coda
Yeah.
was on the bed. So he's still with me, but he's no longer the emotional support dog that he used to be.
Well, he's a senior dog now, right? Is that I have a senior dog too, so I was curious. I feel like you mentioned it in one of your recent Instagram posts.
He is. He was adopted in 2014.
Uh-huh.
And at that point, he's a rescue. So we don't know his exact age. But at that point, they said he was between 2 and 4. So we went with 2,
Yeah.
obviously.
Round down.
Um, yeah. And so now he's estimated to be between 13 and 14. And he is showing some signs of slowing down. You can tell his hair is a little bit more grayer and he's slowing down. He's sleeping deeper, but he's still healthy. He's active. He wants to play. So, to me, he's still a puppy.
Oh, for sure. I have the same situation with Suki. By the way, I'm Erica, mom to Suki on Sukiyaki Shiba.
Hi.
Nice to meet you. And I love your earrings and your Yoda shirt. That's
Oh, thank
amazing.
you. Thank you. This is a gift by one of the dog moms in Houston as well.
Amazing.
So, yeah, I love it.
Aw. I love how they got like the ear shape and everything in
Yeah,
in
it's
the
perfect.
profile. Yeah, it's
Hmm.
great. Now I already forgot what I got excited. I
Oh,
don't
you
know.
were you were
Oh,
talking
the
about how
senior.
you're in the same situation.
Yeah, and I know what you mean. She still is active and she's still herself, but lots more naps and whatever we do. She was my service dog, and so she just I retired her because she just couldn't last as long. She couldn't be in that
Hmm.
position for so long, either physically or mentally. She was done early. So I kind of know what you mean about how he isn't quite up to doing that still. But
Hmm.
that they're still full of life and there are babies for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
I find it so amazing about dogs is they live to serve and they live to do task, and that brings them a lot of pleasure. It's not necessarily work for them. Sneha,
Hmm.
our family has a German Shepherd now, and he's just following you all across the room, everywhere, waiting to do the next task. Like, what can I do next? And it kind of goes nuts if he doesn't have something to do.
Hmm.
But from what I'm hearing, Coda seems or sounds to be a natural empath that can absorb, people's emotions, absorb their, maybe it's sorrow or frustrations, and make them feel better, which is amazing to do. But it also
Hmm.
reminds me that that takes a lot of energy out of someone to be able to absorb that as well. So it takes a special type of human or a special type of animal to
Mm-hmm.
be emotionally supportive, and some are better at it than others.
For sure. And, if I may share a story about Coda and how he came to be in my life, and it's a story I love sharing with people. So back in 2014, I woke up one day with a lot of pain in my toe. And I didn't know what was going on. I thought I would give it some time, let it heal, but the pain got worse. So after about a week, I went to the podiatrist, and the podiatrist said, "Oh, we think you have tendonitis." So he did whatever he needed to do, gave me some medicines, and
Hmm.
told me to ice it, all of that. The pain just kept getting worse and worse. And so the podiatrist said that he really didn't know what was going on with me. So he sent me to an orthopedic doctor who did x-rays and said nothing was broken, but that I might have gout.
Oh,
Um,
man.
so they sent me to a rheumatologist. The rheumatologist checked me out and they said, "We don't think you have gout, but you may have a nerve problem. So go on to a neurologist." So then I went to a neurologist and they did a lot of testing and they said, "No, you don't have tarsal tunnel syndrome, which is like carpal tunnel, but in the legs." They said, "That's what we suspected, but you don't have that. So we suggest you go back to the podiatrist." Went back to the podiatrist,
Oh my
and when
gosh.
he tried to touch me, I was in so much pain that I was literally physically pushing him away. And he
Wow.
said, "I am not going to touch you anymore. You need to go back to the neurologist because I think you have um, a, a disorder called complex regional pain syndrome,
Mm.
which is rare and not easily diagnosed. So someone needs to treat you for that." The neurologist refused to see me and said that they didn't think I had that. So at that point, I had already spent 5 months running around and not literally because I couldn't walk. I was already in a wheelchair. I was using crutches. I had a boot. I just physically could no longer walk. And so I did a lot of research and I found a doctor who had written an article on complex regional pain syndrome in a medical journal. I contacted him. He happened to be in Houston at the MD Anderson Cancer Center. And so I called MD Anderson and I said, "I would like to make an appointment with this doctor." And they said, "Do you have cancer?" And I said, "No, I don't." And they said, "We only treat cancer patients." And so at this point, I was so frustrated. I wrote a really long email to the doctor saying, "Who should I go to? No one's willing to treat me." And he wrote back to me immediately within 30 minutes and said, "I will treat you. Come on in." And MD Anderson took me in. He saw me, took one look at me, and said, "Yup, you have complex regional pain syndrome. I already had atrophy from not walking. My right leg was half the size of my left leg,
Whoa.
and it had turned purple, and it was in bad shape." So he said, if we don't intervene now, you're probably going to be disabled for life. We only have a 6 month window and you're already at the 5 month mark.
And why is
And
that? Not because of you, not because of you not being proactive, because they
Hmm.
wouldn't see
correct,
you, they wouldn't believe you.
correct. Apparently, I found out that medical students learn about complex regional pain syndrome only for about 30 minutes in their entire career, so it's not even very well known. And so, thankfully, he was able to get me in. We got some procedures done, and he said, "Let's hope it works because it is a very strange phenomenon. No one has understood it. We don't know the cause. It happens in some people, and there's no cure for it." And so, at that point, he said, "Look, I think there is a chance that you might be disabled. So I want you to start looking at service dogs." Now, the problem with that was that I was phobic to dogs. Growing up in
Oh,
India,
Mm.
where there are so many stray dogs, we don't have, like, the first instinct is always stay away from the dogs because they can bite you, they have rabies, all of that. So that's how I grew up avoiding all dogs. And when I moved to the United States and I saw that everyone had pets, I would call them and say, I'm coming over. Can you please put your dog away?
Mm.
And now I
wow.
know how terrible that must have felt to people because I simply cannot imagine doing that. But they would, right? They indulged me and they did. But
You've come so
I would,
far. You're like a full
Yeah.
I know.
dog mom, like the
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
total
But
180.
it was a total 180, and I was like, I told my husband at that point, we were still not married and about to get married, and I told him, what am I gonna do? Like, service dogs are bigger in size. If I want a dog to open doors for me and things like that, what am I gonna do? And he said, we'll figure it out. So we started looking at service dogs, and it was like a 1 year wait and a lot of money to train them and all of that. So he said, by this time we had gotten married, and he said, why don't we go look at dogs in rescues? Because they are in cages, they are just there. Like, let's get you acclimatized to just being around dogs, right? And then when the service dog comes, you're no longer scared. And I said, that's fine. And so we went to Canine Angels Rescue in Houston one Saturday morning. It was November 22nd, 2014. And the first dog that I saw, Bugsy, he actually came and started humping my leg, which was
Hello.
very scary for me.
I bet. I bet.
And I couldn't even walk at that point. Like, well, I was walking
Oh
somewhat
God.
better, but I couldn't walk. And I literally ran inside the building. And then we saw Coda, and Coda was sitting in a cage with a cone around his neck, and he was tiny, 9 pounds. And I was like, "Oh, hi, Coda," very casually. And he stood up and wagged his tail, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, he's so cute." And then the volunteer came over and she said, would you like to take this dog on a walk? And we were like, okay, sure. And then they were like, oh, whose dog is this going to be? And I proudly exclaimed, my dog. And so then
Wow.
they said, here, hold him. And I was a statue at that point because I'm like, oh my God, I have a dog. I don't know what to do. I don't want to drop the dog, but I don't want to look like a clown when I show them that I'm scared. So I'm like, oh my God, I was frozen, right? My husband took him. We went on a walk. We asked the silliest questions because we did not have any experience with dogs. And we were like, oh, when do they poop? How many times do they poop? Like, just strangest questions, right? They were very patient with us. They answered everything. We came in back into the building. All the dogs started barking, and Coda started shaking, like literally trembling. So they said, oh, pick him up because he's really scared of other dogs. And I was like, oh my gosh. So I picked him up and I was like, I'll protect you from the other dogs. Don't you worry. And all of my maternal instincts came alive at that point. And so I told my husband, I want to take this dog home. And he was like, no, we didn't come here to adopt a dog. We came here so that you're no longer scared of dogs. Clearly, you're still scared, so we are not taking home a dog. And then they said, well, he has high heartworm, and I had no idea what that meant, but they said he's not easily adoptable because he's a black dog. And I was like, oh my gosh, and the cone was from an infection that he had from a dog biting him when he was on the streets.
Hmm.
So I
It
was,
stays in his head.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
Right.
so
Hmm.
I said, wow, this dog is unwell, just like me, and scared of other dogs, just like me. So this is a match made in heaven. Like, how can I not take this dog home? And my husband was a new husband at that point. We had only been married 3 weeks at that point. So,
Oh wow.
happy wife, happy life. So he had to he had to listen to me. And so I was like, I'm taking this dog home, whether you like it or not. And we brought him home. And within a month, I was actually running around the coffee table playing with him. He went through his heartworm treatment and everything, and he was fine when we were doing that. But my husband came home from work and he was like, "Oh my gosh, Sneha, you're running." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm running." And yeah, since that day, Coda and I have been inseparable. Obviously, I can walk now. You will see me at the Global Pet Expo walking.
Good.
And
Yay.
Coda is obviously doing well. He'll be in a stroller though. He won't be walking. I'll be the one walking him. Um, and yeah, that's like our happy ending.
So do you feel that, the treatment was successful, but also CODA was part of your healing process for CRPS?
Absolutely, absolutely. Because what happened is because he had heartworm, they said no exercise. You need to carry
No
him
way.
down and up the stairs, right? And I was like, obviously, I'm going to carry my baby. So I was taking the stairs, right? Even though I was in
Ah,
pain. And I think that did something to my body
Mm.
and all the oxytocin from, caring for him and
yes.
playing with him and all of that.
Sookie would get me out of bed. My
Hmm.
story's a bit different, but also, one of those painful and kind of hard to diagnose. A lot of your story resonated with me, and
Me as well too, especially for what we
yes,
were talking about last podcast, Erica, with Dr.
mhm,
Judy about visiting all these different medical professionals. And although they're
Hmm.
professionals, they're humans. They don't know what's going on a lot of the time, and they couldn't figure out what was going on with you, Sneha. Oh, go see this person. Oh, you go see that person. No,
Hmm.
no, no, go see that person. No, 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 go
Hmm.
see that person. And it's like you bounce around and you're spending all this money while you're bouncing around too,
mm,
just looking for answers. Such a frustrating process, but what other choice do you have? These are answers you don't know yourself, and the human body
Correct.
really is that complex. But Erica, please.
Oh, yes, I agree with all of that. And the what it takes to be your own advocate and to continue pushing when you're getting so much pushback. And then, oh, okay, I did find someone I can see. Oh, they're outside my insurance network. Oh, I did find someone I can see. Oh, they're on a wait list for a year and a half.
Hmm.
I mean, it's there's so many roadblocks. So I'm very, very happy to hear that something worked for you and that you're doing so much better. That's wonderful. And I related with Sookie that there are plenty of days that, boy, it would feel so much better to just stay in bed. Don't feel that motivated to go out. Certainly wouldn't go for a 45-minute or hour-long walk, but
Hmm.
it gets me out of the house. And she broke her
Hmm.
toe once, so I did have her in a stroller, and it was kind of
Oh.
fun because I know it was so sad. She was on the beach playing, and all of a sudden she stepped on a rock the wrong way, I think, and her
Mm.
little toe, oh, it was terrible. But having her in a stroller was like the cutest thing ever. I loved having her in a stroller. And I want her to walk as long as she can and be active. But when she gets to that point of her seniorhood, we're getting a stroller. I'm I
Yes.
might hit you up for recommendations, although she's not 9 pounds, she's 30 pounds. So it's a little different.
There are bigger strollers out there too, and it's
Mm.
becoming more and more of the norm. It's not just a, oh yeah, I'm lazy or my dog's lazy or this looks cute. Like people recognize how important these are to get your dog fresh air and take them out and socialize them even when they are not strong enough anymore.
That is a great sentiment because I don't know if you've received it personally, but there's a lot of criticism people get for having their dog in a stroller and for the reasons you mentioned. Oh, that dog should be walking. And it's not a
Mm-hmm.
baby. I don't know, just plenty of
Mm-hmm.
all my friends with dogs in strollers, and dogs with disabilities or dogs, that you want to take your dog with you, but your dog's so little and literally cannot walk that far for that long.
Mm-hmm.
There's just
Mm-hmm.
plenty of reasons. People just have to say their 2 cents, whether you've asked them to or not. But I'm glad it's getting better and it's getting more acceptable. People are understanding, seeing it more and,
Mm-hmm.
normalizing it.
Well, Erica, they say
Absolutely. Yeah.
opinions are like assholes. Everyone's got one.
Everyone's
So
got one. Yeah.
it's never going to end,
Right.
Everyone's got something to say.
That's so true.
So, Sneha, that is an amazing story, and like I'm very humbled to hear that story as well too, and the journey that you went through to find Coda. This is not your average pet that came into your life. This is literally a pet that saved your life.
Hmm.
But I'm most interested as well with this Dr. Anderson. So finally, you found a doctor that was willing to take you in and willing to treat you. What was that
Hmm.
treatment process like for you from the stage that you were in up until the stage where you're able to walk again and you're running around the house? What needed
Hmm.
to happen in order for you to recover?
Yeah, so the doctor's name is Dr. Abdi,
Abdi,
and
okay.
and he was at the MD Anderson Cancer Center pain department. And before he moved to Houston, he used to work in Florida at a CRPS clinic doing just that. So he had so much knowledge about that. The first treatment that the first thing was he took me off of all medications that had been prescribed to me because I took a
Hmm.
bunch of medications prescribed by different doctors,
Sure.
gabapentin and all kinds of different medications that worked with the nerves but had too many side effects. And then I had to get 3 nerve blocks, 3 consecutive weeks in my
Wow.
back, and those worked, I think. But I also had to relearn how to walk
Hmm.
by going to physical
Unbelievable.
therapy in the pool. So I got aqua therapy.
Wow. Yes. That's
Hmm.
such wonderful physical therapy to take that weight off while you
Hmm.
relearn.
Correct. So even now while walking, I have to remember heel toe, heel toe. Like it's
Holy
ingrained in
cow.
me because I was not walking properly. And so that happened. And then he also did an experimental study with me. I was part of an experimental study for scrambler therapy, which is not FDA approved, but it has been approved in Europe, where they attach all these electrode kind of things to in my case, it was the foot,
Hmm.
and they scramble the pain signals before it gets to the brain. So the brain does not perceive pain. And I think that worked as well. I think it's just, I don't specifically know what worked, but
Mm.
all of this combined, I think worked for me. And now I just have to be mindful. I also developed CRPS in my arm from the needle prick that the IV that they inserted in me while I was getting the nerve blocks. So the doctor told me
Oh,
that I can no longer get any blood work done or any shots or anything like that. So, I haven't had blood work done in years, and I'm just hoping that everything's okay. I kind of feel okay. I don't think anything major is going on, but there is a lot of fatigue on a daily basis. And I just have to be careful when I work out or do any kind of physical activity to not overdo it or to injure myself because CRPS can spread to any part of the body.
mm. That's very scary that the potential for that. And then if you do
Mhm.
have something that comes up, to not feel like you can be quickly tested as much as everyone else.
Correct. It is scary, but I try to stay positive.
Mm.
Nothing really has happened to the point where I have been panicking or distressed about my future. Like if I do have flare-ups, they kind of subside in a day. So, I'm very thankful for that. During COVID, I was a little scared to get the
Mm.
vaccines because they said no needle prick, but I also didn't want to get sick. So I weighed my pros and cons. I actually waited 6 months after the vaccine was released to see what effects it has on people and
Mm.
such. And then I
Smart.
went and got my vaccine. So, I at least am able to do things like that.
Absolutely. I was going to ask how this relates to the education you've had with psychology. It's very interesting to think about pain and how it's processed in the brain. And there's a saying about something being in your head, which is a bit insulting to say to somebody who has pain like that, because it's as if you're manifesting it, but
Hmm.
it
Mm-hmm.
is in our head. It's literally in our head.
Right.
And
Mm-hmm.
there's, pain pathways that are, our nerves set up these pathways and patterns,
Mm-hmm.
and then they'll repeat them. And so, trying to interrupt that, I feel like that, um, was it a vibration, or what did you say the type of it was, it a shock or a vibration?
Trembler therapy,
Yeah.
that it was sending signals, so it felt like a little vibration, like a little tingling sensation on
Oh,
my feet. But there was no pain when they were doing that.
great. Oh, that's
Yeah,
fascinating. And so I was just
yeah.
curious, from your educational background, how you approached this for yourself, or for dealing with the stress of fatigue and having something that's chronic.
Yeah, so I think that in general, since I was a kid, I have always been a very optimistic, glass half full type of person. So I think that that helped. I also somehow had a gut feeling when all of this, when I was first diagnosed, my husband was devastated. And he was like, "What's gonna happen? Like, what are we gonna do?" And I was like, "But I think I'm gonna be okay." Even though I had done all the research and stuff, I just had this gut feeling, which is not scientific in any shape or form, but I just had that gut feeling. But I will also say that MD Anderson mandated psychotherapy for me as well.
Mm.
So despite being a psychologist myself, I was seeing another psychologist at MD Anderson after every treatment. I had a session with them. And so I didn't really have to use my education or retrieve things from my brain and engage in self dialogue. There was someone else that was teaching me and doing cognitive behavioral therapy with me to help me.
That's wonderful. That should be part of the program,
Hmm.
an integrative part of the program for every
Hmm.
therapy like that. That's wonderful, and I'm
Yeah.
glad you had that support.
Yeah, I am very grateful for Dr. Abdi and
Wow.
my podiatrist who insisted that I had CRPS when everyone else was saying no.
Hmm.
Those two doctors combined have really saved my life.
Unbelievable. Well, I mean, just hearing your story, I'm so happy to hear that you're well now in the journey that you've gone through, and you had those doctors that you came across that were
Mm-hmm.
willing to hear you out, not shut the door in your face, not just push you off to the next doctor, the next doctor, the next doctor, that you really could hone in and get the support that you needed. And also that you cross paths with Coda as well too, all along this journey, because we're
Mm-hmm.
talking about the significance that dogs can help literally save our lives and get us in the mindset and get us over fears that you had to overcome to the point that you're at. And I truly do believe myself that the emotional is attached to the physical as well too. They talk a lot. I was talking about last podcast having back pain that came on and leg fatigue. So I had to retire from professional paintball in 2018, but I was going doctor to doctor and no doctor could really figure it out. No x-rays were showing what was causing this back pain or what was making my legs give out. But I do remember working with one acupuncturist that was talking about there are those who have experienced trauma in their lives, and that trauma or emotional trauma can tie in, knots in your body or different things like that. And so if you're in the right mindset, that allows you to recover from different situations. So it is a process, but we're really happy to hear that you're well and um, you know made it through that journey that you're talking about. So let's talk Coda here. Amazing earrings, by the way, that Erica shouted out. I was going to say, Erica, when you get the stroller, Sneha is going to tell you to have it fully decked out in a Shiba customization because that
Yes,
that
rightly so.
seems to be the way
Oh,
you roll.
I have been a fan of
Roll,
Sneha and
literally.
Coda years. They're amazing. Coda's costumes and the advocacy you do,
Hmm.
and what comes through your posts, it's just amazing. I've been sadly up against you in many of these contests, trying to keep up.
The
No,
the
we
Zen
just have
Frenz
so much
costume
fun at
contest.
Halloween.
Let's go.
Yeah, Zen Frenz costume contest.
Yeah,
It's
that
so much fun.
that
I've seen your costumes and they are amazing and
Oh,
well-deserved wins over there, okay? So just let
so
me
much.
share
Oh,
that.
you guys, it's like a celebrity's
Yeah, it
complimenting
is.
you. You guys
That
to
is.
understand
Yes.
this.
Yeah.
No, but it's so fun, and I can tell you do the same thing where you really try to create a scene. And,
Hmm.
like his mac and cheese, wasn't it jalapeno mac and cheese
It was
or something?
bacon jalapeno mac and
Oh,
cheese.
sorry,
Let's
excuse
not forget the bacon.
let's not leave out the bacon. Oh, just brilliant and so, so fun. We've spread so much joy
Mhm.
sharing pictures of doing that with our dogs, and I know what it takes to get an easy relationship with your dog like that. They'll trust you to put on a costume and that you're not going to force them to do something they're
Mhm.
uncomfortable with. And the more you do,
Hmm.
the more you can get away with, the more accessories you can pile on. And,
Hmm.
the longer they might sit for a photo, knowing they'll get that treat, knowing it happens,
Hmm.
you know. So I was, before the interview, I texted Alex, one of your Instagram post recently, Valentine's, that photo of you and Coda. Where did you get that taken? How did that people should go look up her account, Coda the Canine Yoda,
That's right.
and check out her Valentine's post. It's beautiful.
Yeah, there is a local photographer here, Nala Shots, and she's brand new. She just started doing this last year, but she's amazing. And
Wow.
so she invited us over to her house. That's where it was set up in one of the bedrooms. And I am so happy I got that picture because it's my most favorite picture. It's actually my profile picture in many different places.
Oh, it should be. It's
Yeah, I'm looking at
beautiful.
it
It's
now.
beautiful. Yeah, I'm so surprised to hear she's a new photographer, getting that shot. She must be so grateful you shouted her out in your post.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Houston dog community is amazing, in the sense that we all support each other. We are very, very close knit. We go to events together. We actually compete against each other in so many contests, but we are constantly supporting each other as well as we do that. So, I think that it really, I think that is very necessary to have that dog mom community and to support each other whenever we can. Like, yeah, like you and I, right? We are rivals, quote unquote, um, in many
It's a heated
contests.
rivalry.
Glad we can set the stage for you guys to be rivals.
Yeah,
Our
but at
our
the same
picture for the
time,
episode will have us both like
Yeah,
our
yeah,
profiles
versus
versus,
Coda
yeah.
versus Suki. Yoshi will officiate. He just wants treats and
Yoshi.
ball. Yeah. He's fucking
no, but
asleep right now,
I
sleeping on
honestly
the
think
job.
that even though we are rivals, we know that everyone is there because they love their pet, right? And we are trying to enjoy our lives and make memories with our pets. So we are not really rivals. We are all part of the same team.
Totally agree. I feel like in it we find our community. And there's a couple outliers, but they're outliers that,
Hmm.
make the competitions ugly. But most of it is very supportive and we're all having so much fun with it. It's just like
Hmm.
I love that you have a local community. Do you do
Hmm.
meetups or does Coda not like, I don't know if Coda would like a meetup?
Coda is not necessarily a playful dog.
Mm.
He is okay with the going out. He loves going out. The moment we pick up our keys, wear our shoes, he's at the door. And if we don't take him, he has a shocked expression on his face. So,
Why would you
um,
go somewhere you
How
can't
could you
take
do
me? I
this to
don't
me
understand.
after all
yeah.
we've been through?
But I will tell you that we pretty much have an event every week, um, every other week. Even though it's summer and it's hot outside, we still have events. We try and make it happen indoors. We find places to meet indoors. We go to each other's houses and,
Oh,
pool
Wow.
parties and things like that. It's a very, very fun. Does Coda like playing with other dogs? Absolutely not. Is he the fun police? Absolutely. If other dogs are playing, he wants them to stop. He
Yeah.
gets mad at them. But he still loves being there. He
Can you
loves dressing
imagine
up.
seeing that, Alex? Like,
Oh my God.
like
Yeah,
he's getting
the
all,
ears kill me.
you stop it. Like, he doesn't
I
have that Yoda Zen. Maybe he
yeah,
needs some Zen
yeah.
friends to achieve his
He needs
Yoda.
some Zen friends
Some
when we go
Zen.
out for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. I have to shout out as well, Sneha. This was a crazy costume you did one of the years, but when you put him in a bowl of ramen, um,
Oh yeah.
that was insane. When we came across that, we were looking at that as a team, like, get out of here. Like, how do you even come up with putting a dog in a bowl of ramen? But hey, that's why you guys always, win, you and Erica is you just go above and beyond, what the field's trying to do. Like, you
And
gotta
I'm
gotta
a
gotta bring your best
big,
for the Zen Friends costume
yeah, I'm a
contest.
big advocate
Mhm.
for DIY. I love
Mhm.
recycling. And so I'm not like a huge consumer where I'm going to go out and buy a bunch of outfits. I love
Mhm.
making his outfits and I love food and it will show. But I love food. So it's like ramen.
Yep.
Last year was s'mores. This year was mac and cheese, right? So, yeah, I don't know what I'm going to come up with in October, but it's definitely going to be food. I'm pretty positive about that.
Do you
I
get ideas throughout the year? I
I was
write
gonna
them
say,
down.
like, I'm interested in being in one of these sessions to see, like, when you get to the drawing board and where your mind goes and what the
Yeah.
ultimate end product is. Like, how do you start with like, oh, I think we're gonna do a bowl of ramen this year. That's gonna be the go-to.
I usually will get ideas after I see something. So when he was a bowl of ramen, I actually saw a ramen bowl dog bed on Amazon that year, and I was
Wow.
like, oh my gosh, I can put him in this bed and make him a bowl of ramen. And so that's where that idea came from. And then the
So
s'mores
you saw a
idea was a little,
costume out of a prop, like
Mhm.
out of a piece. You were like, I can build that. I can put
Correct.
noodles. I can, he can be
Yeah,
comfortable sitting in it.
correct. Like his comfort is very important for me. And so I take him to contests where I can put him in a wagon or,
Mm.
make his stroller also part of the scene so that he's not walking. He's so small. He's only 13 pounds. So I don't want him to have a bunch of heavy things on him. His
Mm.
ears are so big that when we put hats or sunglasses on him, they don't fit him right. He's like, what is going on? These holes are not big enough. And so I really want to have him be comfortable, but then I also want to let my creative juices flow. And so that's what happens.
That is
So
so cool. Do you groom him yourself or do you take him somewhere?
Oh, no, no, I have no such talent. I take him for grooming. I don't even give him baths at home. I used to at the beginning when we first adopted him, but then it was a chasing game and I had to run around the house trying to catch him. And so I was like, no, I'm not doing this. It's stressful for everybody. So someone grooms him and they do a fabulous job. Like each time he comes back, his hairdo and his ears and everything look perfect.
I was gonna say the hairdo, what do you have a name for it? That, his like fluff
No,
in the
I
middle of
think
his
that's
head?
just from him being part poodle. He's always had
Ah,
that. And it's always
cute.
been gray while the rest of the body has been black. So people have always asked us, do you dye it? And I'm like, no, like this is his natural look. Uh,
No, he's
so
just
yeah, the
naturally gorgeous. I
naturally
love
gorgeous. Thank you. I love that.
it.
So let's get a shout out here because we work with groomers nationwide. Zen
Mhm.
Friends would not be what it was without working with a lot of independent groomers in the pet space. So where is Coda's groomer of choice in Houston?
Demi's doghouse.
Demi and Doghouse. Okay, easy
Yeah,
enough.
they are a boarding facility as well, but he only goes there for grooming, and they have one groomer there, and she does a fabulous job.
Amazing. All right. Well, next time we visit Houston, Texas, we got to get Demi's Doghouse to sell some Zen Friends, get some Zen before the grooming session. But again, we're so into meeting the owners of these businesses. We talk about it all the time. But what makes all of us very unique here with Zen Friends, the first thing to get back to what you were talking about with your community and your meetup, in our mission statement, we talk about being dedicated to building a passionate community of pet owners who strive to
Hmm.
bring themselves and their pets the best lives possible. So that's the instant connection bond that you, Erica, and I have right away is not only do we have pets, but our whole lifestyle is surrounded around that. Not everyone's going to make viral accounts and put in all the work that comes across with the pet industry. But that's a big focal point that we work on. Another key point is we are independent creators that started something from scratch and built followings and built audiences of everything we were doing without mega corporate teams behind everything that we're doing. So when it comes to growing, especially in that initial stage, we relied so heavily on working with independent creators or independent businesses who would take our product and be willing to promote it and represent brand ambassador and become a brand ambassador. So I want to give a huge thank you and a shout out to you, Sneha, and also Erica as well for our beginning stages and being willing to work with us. That was a big thing for us. But also getting off the ground for us and having the capital to reinvest in new SKUs and new products and growing is working with those independent pet businesses out there. So I went to Houston, Texas in 2019, door to door, just going, pitching the product,
Wow.
meeting individual store owners, you name it, pet boarding facilities, pet groomers, pet stores, everything like that. So I can shout out one business that carries Zen Friends, and that's Dogs Are Dogs. They sell our products in Houston, Texas. Michelle and Forrest are the owners of those stores. But I also know there's a Tailored Tail that exists in Houston, Texas. We're looking to work with them. You got Funny Fur, Urban Tales. I'm pulling out like all these different accounts here. I do have Demi's Doghouse, and I'll read you
Oh,
a
no way.
I'll read you a note here. So this is what something of like my business looks like. It says left samples with Nicole, only accepts from distributor, send an email. That's the notes that I have on Demi's Doghouse. But hey, if we can beat the distributor, then let's work with Demi's Doghouse. That'd be great. So,
Okay,
as
let's see what magic we can create there.
So, Sneha, when did you decide to create an account for Coda? What stage were you in there? What mindset were you in? And now we're looking at an Instagram account here with over 14,000 followers that are keeping up with your
Woo!
day-to-day actions. So you're grinding
And
out there,
and
but
and we also have TikTok with 88,000
ooh,
followers.
okay. All right, let's step up our game here. A little TikTok viral too. I'd like to hear
Yeah.
that. So how did
Um,
that journey start for you for what it's become now and those beginning stages?
yes, so I never had an Instagram account even for myself.
Okay.
And then
Go figure.
my yeah,
Yeah.
two of my girlfriends and I, we went to Scottsdale, Arizona on a girls' trip.
That's where I live now.
And oh, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
Yeah. So at that point, they were taking pictures and putting it up on Instagram and all of that. And I was like, maybe I should do this for my dog to create memories and to make a little album for him,
Hmm.
so that, in years to come, I can keep track of the things that we did. And so that thought was actually born in Scottsdale, Arizona. I came back to Houston, and the very next day, it was 2017, the very next day, I created an Instagram account. I had no idea what I was doing because it was my first Instagram account ever. So I have no idea what I was doing. But I think because he looks a little peculiar and cute, but peculiar, I think a lot
It's
of
got to
people
be the
were
ears,
drawn.
Cotton.
Yeah,
It's
they
got to be
were
the
like, what
ears.
is this creature? And so I think that's what got him the following. And then we got, partnerships and things like that. And we started growing. And
May I ask you, was his username always that clever handle that you
Coda
have?
the
Did you
Canine
start out with
Yoda.
that? It's so perfect.
yeah, so there's a story behind that too.
Okay,
My
sure.
husband, um, when we adopted Coda, his name was already Coda at the Rescue. So I was like, what is this name? I don't like this name. I want to change this name. And he was like, but he looks like Yoda. So, like, Coda the Canine Yoda. And I was
Wow.
like, oh yeah, he does look like Yoda. Okay, Coda the Canine Yoda. But obviously we didn't do anything with it. And then when I started his Instagram, that's when I used it. So my husband often jokes that his only contribution to Coda's social media is the handle.
But
What's
it's a
your
big
what?
one.
Yeah.
It's
What
key.
what's
It's
what's your
key.
husband's name again?
Sid,
Sid.
S-I-D.
Yes, I did. All right, Sid, you got to be collecting some royalties here. All right. All those brand deals that are coming through, we need a nice little contribution for you here, Sid.
Does he
Yeah.
participate with you, for example, in taking photos or I mean, I'm guessing you do all the engagement, not him, but maybe he does. But is he involved or he's just part of the support team behind you?
He loves getting pictures taken. He loves wearing outfits. So the moment, and then we have like a couple spots around the house where most pictures get taken. And
Mm,
so the moment he sees that I have my tripod and my camera and a box of treats, he will
Superstar.
get in position. Yes.
Yeah.
And it hardly takes any work. In fact, there was a reel that I made yesterday, and I made that in 2 minutes. Like all the recording was done in 2 flat minutes. And then the caption and all that took me 20 minutes.
yeah, oh yeah, for sure. I know what you mean.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
But that's why I think TikTok also took off because um I I think that I am also a jokester. Like people think that if I was not a psychologist, I should have been a stand-up comedian. And so
I'm
on
expecting a
TikTok,
little more sarcasm on this podcast then. All right. You haven't caught me
Well, we've
slipping
been very
yet.
genuine,
Yeah, we have.
genuine.
um, so during COVID, I started this TikTok account and we started making a lot of funny videos. And I think that's also what took off because there's a strange looking dog with funny voiceovers and stuff. And I think that took off as well. And he loves making videos. Now that he's getting older, it's a little difficult. He's not difficult in the sense that he's weak or anything, but he's stubborn. So it's like, why do I have to wait for a treat?
Right,
And he
right, right.
starts barking when he's not supposed to. So yeah.
Do
At
you
first
ever
it's
do
exciting and then he just gets used to everything, right? Now it's like,
Yeah.
well, I don't need to be here. We finished our shoot like 30 minutes ago. Let's move on with the show.
Yeah.
diva mode? Does he have like a green room where he has his treats selected and he has a contract writer that specifies what treats must be there?
I wish he had that. I wish I had
Yeah,
that.
yeah, right.
I wish I had an extra couple rooms for all of the stuff that he owns.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Yes, yeah. Well, Suki does have her own room. And we have a closet that I've just taken over because I never know when maybe I'll use that again. Maybe I like to recycle
Yeah.
things and put things in other ideas if I can. Um,
Yes.
it's
Yes.
so easy to start out with something and then
Hmm.
build from there. So I just, if I come up with an idea, oh, I could use that. But then, oh no, I got rid of it. So I keep everything. Like it's
Yeah.
bad. It's
Can you
bad.
imagine like keeping the ramen noodle bowl and the mac and cheese and it's
Yeah.
all there in the garage somewhere.
Yes,
I
it's a
do
lot of work to
remember.
put that together. So
Yeah, I don't
it's
want
so
to throw it
hard to
away.
let it go. Hmm.
Yeah.
I'm on board
Um,
with your DIY because I'm getting sick of buying a Halloween costume that's new every year just to wear it that year and never wear it again. I got to figure out something with that
you
equation.
you
The
don't
DIY
have
sounds
to
nice.
never wear it again. You can always modify it and wear it
Fair,
again as something else.
fair, fair.
Very smart.
And it's
Great,
like you
great
never want
advice.
to be the same thing, right? So like you got to come up with something. Oh, I was that last year. I got to like move on, I got to move on to the next thing.
Well,
Just
Alex, you
wrap
bring
it
up
with
a
toilet paper and become a zombie Batman or something the next time.
Fair, fair. And we have seen Coda
brilliant.
as a mummy before too. So shout out to
Yes.
that costume as well. Keep a nice memory bank here.
Did
So
he stay still for that photo with all that hanging off?
I actually attached all of that to an outfit. So it was not really attached to his body.
Smart.
Yeah.
Oh, that way you're not picking up pieces constantly and trying to reattach them while
Yeah,
getting the photo.
yeah.
So, Sneha, how are you finding balance with building this account? Because I'm sure it takes work, right? Like you got to put time into this. You're taking time out of your day to engage with the followers, to create the content, to manage the account. You're doing this on two separate platforms as well, too. How are you finding that with your professional career and balancing those two lifestyles that you're currently living right now?
Well, I'm often sleep deprived.
Hmm.
Greatness
But
takes time.
but I think that I love it so much that it doesn't feel like work. And so if I have to sacrifice something in order to make his content or to take him places for filming or
Mhm.
photo shoots or things like that, I do not mind it at all. I don't have FOMO in missing out whatever I sacrificed because I'm getting to spend more time with my dog and
Mhm.
I am also doing all of this for his account. As for work, I scaled down. Um, with the number of hours that I was working so that I get at least one full day of
Mm.
just content creation and working on other things, right? So I don't work all 5 days a week. I only work 4 days a week.
So what's that day like for you? What's a week in the life like for Sneha with some work and then also that day of content? What's that like for you?
So it's usually a Friday.
Okay.
So
My favorite day of the
sleep
week.
in. Yeah,
Yeah.
sleep in for sure. But then once I wake up, it's like, okay, I have a little calendar. I love looking up the national days, or there's a
Yeah.
day for everything.
We do that
And
too.
so, yeah, I love looking that up. And if there's something that resonates with me, it goes on my planner, and then I make sure that I have a post for that.
Shout
And if
out to
I can,
Women's History Month. Shout out to Women's History
yay!
Month. We got Sneha and Erica on the podcast. We're very appreciative for all that you guys do out there.
And all the dog moms who work hard out there
Yes.
on their, yeah, because I imagine that most of the accounts have dog moms
Yeah, oh yeah.
managing
Momagers.
them. Yes, momagers. But yeah, I mean, I am a huge planner and an organizer. So, I try and put everything on a schedule and I try and follow that schedule, and make it work.
So may I ask, do you plan, let's say that there's like National Cupcake Day on whatever day. How do you plan in advance? Do you have a calendar that, okay, that's coming up in 2 months. Maybe we got to get those pictures so we can, you know, get everything together? Do you see like far ahead of time? I love hearing that you're a planner and organized. So I just was really curious.
Not 2 months in advance. I used to be that way. My husband knows that the one gift that he always needs to give me over Christmas is a planner. And it's a specific type of planner. It's not fancy. It's like for $8 or something, but it has to have certain kinds of spaces for me to write things in. And so it used to be that in the first week of January, I would go through everything and put everything down, what month is what and whose birthday is coming up and all of that. But I don't think I can do that anymore. So now it's
Hmm.
usually a what's happening next week type of scenario.
That makes complete sense. It is a lot to keep up with, and year after year after year. And now our babies are a little bit older, so we might be a little more selective as,
Mhm.
not doing every single day or whatever. But,
Mm-hmm.
the ones that resonate and you're really excited for, those are so fun. I recently
Mm-hmm.
joined a group of it's not really an engagement group, but we do engage on each other's posts. But really it's more to celebrate causes or to call attention to things. So, for example, we did two different Women's History Month post, and then International Day for Women. And it's so nice to have a group of people that feels invested
Mm-hmm.
in that. And so that's another kind of connection through Instagram that's happened in the community. Are these, I've seen that in your account that there's things that you wanna get across that aren't just superficial and fun, that have meaning, And, I feel similarly. It feels nice to use our platform that way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have been advocating a lot for rescue dogs. I have been advocating for wellness. I do a lot of wellness now, supplements and things like that that do work. In the past, it would be like, here, we want to send you this, try it out. And I'm like, sure, yeah. But now I'm only going to advertise things that I've
Right.
used and that have worked with Coda and are beneficial to him. I don't know if you've seen our posts from the last 2 or 3 years, but after COVID, we decided to travel internationally with Coda because making memories with him became a huge part of my life. And we had the means, we had collected so many miles that we could take free trips and stuff using those miles.
Where'd you go?
And so we went to Italy twice.
Wow.
Wow.
We went to France twice. We went to Switzerland and we've been to Amsterdam,
All
all
right.
with Coda.
So does he have a passport?
Yeah, he's a European citizen. What do
His
you mean?
little paw gets stamped.
Yeah. He's got more
I
stamps than mom
wish.
does.
I wish. So there is a thing called pet passport, but it is a thing only in Europe. In the United States, we don't have a passport. I could get him one and pretend like he has one and flash it with the immigration officer, but no. So all we need is paperwork from the
Mm,
vet and take him. Yeah.
that's amazing.
Yeah,
So,
so that's also what we also talk about on our posts on how you can take your dog safely
mhm.
to other countries without or other places, even domestic, without stressing them out.
And is he a calm traveler? What's traveling like for Coda?
He's extremely calm. Like I said, he's always had a calm personality. So, and he does not have anxiety per se in general. So, the very first flight that I took him on, I trained him to be in the carrier by always feeding him inside the carrier for a month and things like that. So he came to realize it's a safe place, it's a fun
Mm.
place. And then we make sure that he uses the restroom right before we board. Every single airport has,
Yeah, the
at
pet
least every
relief.
single American airport, yeah, has a pet relief area. So we make sure that we don't feed him as much so that he doesn't get
Mm.
nauseous, but
Hmm.
some so that he's not starving. He uses the restroom right before we board. And I take off his collar because I don't want it to get entangled or anything while he's in the carrier and cover it with a blanket. He's under the seat and he sleeps the whole time.
All right, he's a winner. Easy enough. Ready to
People
go.
don't even know what's under there. Like the people in the aisle across from you. If Can you imagine Alex being on an airplane and then having that face pop out of
Oh
the
yeah.
carrier? It would.
I'd
Oh,
be the
he's
one.
gonna.
I'd be like, hi, hi, how you doing?
Yeah, there's no way. I probably would obnoxiously. I'd probably get up from my seat
Oh
and
yeah.
just gonna
Oh
meet
my
him.
God. I'll just take him with me. Just come home with daddy.
So does he get restless during takeoff or landing, or is he just chill the whole time?
The first flight we took, he was
Sure.
restless during takeoff and landing. It was super noisy and he didn't know what was
Mhm.
going on.
Hmm.
But then second flight onwards, I think he quickly learned that this is just part of the deal. And if I need to go places, I need to deal with this.
That's
So
how we
no,
all
no.
feel about travel.
Yeah,
Like
right.
fine, we'll put up with this because Italy.
Yeah, Italy.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. But he is a very good traveler. We really got very fortunate with him and his personality. And we are fortunate that we have the miles so that we can take all of these trips. And he is very good when we get there as well. He's not anxious when we get into a new hotel or Airbnb. He sleeps well through the night and all of that. He's not restless when he hears strange noises or anything. He's very quiet, doesn't bark. So it's been easy to take him now that he's older. This year, we are only focusing on domestic trips, like, trying to get to the Global Pet Expo. He's taking part in a fashion show in June, the celebrity catwalk that happens in Greenville, South Carolina.
Wow.
Oh my God, that's
That's
amazing. I can't wait to
exciting.
see all that. Yeah, we'll be following
Yeah,
along. That's amazing.
yeah. Last month, February, yeah, we went to Mardi Gras in New Orleans because I
Wow.
always wanted to do the pet parade there. So that's what
I've
we
never
did.
been. Are you at do you say go to New Orleans or what's your takeaway?
Yeah, New Orleans is a special place in my heart because that's where my husband and I got married.
Oh wow.
Oh,
We had a destination wedding, and that's the wedding that venue that we picked so that everyone can have a good time. So I highly
oh my
recommend
God. This
it.
would be the best wedding place, place to go for a destination wedding ever. How fun.
It was very fun,
Did
if I
anyone
can say so
remember the
myself.
wedding?
They do remember being on a balcony on Bourbon Street and
Oh yeah.
tossing beads. They do remember that part,
Yeah,
if,
that's right.
even if they forgot everything else. But this was Coda's first time, believe it or not, in the 11 years that we've had him. This was the first time that we took him to New Orleans because I don't necessarily think it's a pet-friendly vacation, right? Because you're out and about and doing
Hmm.
lots of things and it's noisy and crowded. But Mardi Gras, the pet parade at Mardi Gras, I just wanted to do that, and I have a close friend in from Instagram. Okay, I've only
There you
met her
go.
twice,
Yeah.
but we are very close, and she recently lost her dog to
Oh,
cancer last year. So I wanted to go support her because that was her first parade without her dog, Allie. And so I wanted to go support her and also give Coda the experience.
that's amazing. That's amazing. I bet you changed that whole day for her.
I hope I did. I think she was very grateful for all the support that she received. She is very well loved in the community, and she has been receiving a lot of support. So I hope that some of our presence healed her a little bit.
I love that as well too, especially within the Instagram space. You know, we're all engaging and interacting on this digital platform, but we're big advocates of closing that gap and inviting people like yourself on the Zen Frenz podcast. So now these are real life friends that we can make and become, and we take it past, you know, the Instagram. Hey, let's do a meetup or let's collaborate somewhere. Let's, you know, go out, and you come to find that the people behind all these different pet accounts, they're just like you. We have all different things in common. We have this bond that we're in the pet industry and we're growing within the pet industry as well too. But to actually make real life friends out of it is, I think that that step that a lot of people should look to take because it's possible out there. And you were mentioning like in Houston, that dog community that exists there, and Erica's talked about it a lot within Wisconsin as well too, that these are very dog friendly places. And here we are, you know, we're all in the same neighborhood and we can make friends for life, and that's something that's really special.
Yeah, the Instagram community has been awesome. Even when I was having a flare up with the CRPS one time, I was stressing out and I said, well, is anyone willing to send me different kinds of fabrics? Like, all you need to do is to find one fabric piece, like a swatch, and mail it to me because I wanted to desensitize my limb to the touch of that fabric.
Hmm.
And it was amazing as the fabric started pouring in because I could go out and
Hmm.
buy samples, but it I felt like there was love coming in the mail, and
Hmm.
that also was very helpful with the flare up.
Amazing.
You should make that into a quilt. I mean, that is the most beautiful story I've ever heard. I love that. And how helpful for you. It wasn't just a emotional, it was actually something you could I bet people loved giving you that so that, to try to help you in your therapy.
I mean, I think, people could have easily read the post and been like, okay, whatever, right? We'll send her
Hmm.
good vibes. But to actually pick up a piece of fabric and go to the post office and
Hmm.
mail it is effort. And clearly people cared enough, whether they cared for my dog or me, or just identified as empaths with someone's pain. And I think that is just so beautiful that you'll meet all kinds of people on this platform and we can all look out for each other.
That shows the impact that you've had on them as well too, that you're making their lives day to day a better, you're making their day pretty much, you and Coda, that you're just constantly coming up and putting good stuff out there, and people really are truly
Hmm.
your friends that are following along. And that's what we're here for, right? We're here to help each other out. We're here to build each other up. We want everyone to be successful in their own endeavors and their own paths. And part of that is being a team when it comes to all of this. You can't do it alone. You can't go at it alone, but just tapping into those resources is really key. So we're stoked to hear about your community and how involved they are with you. That's really awesome to hear. So what's next, Sneha? What's next on the agenda for you and Coda this year? What are you looking forward to most? I know you talked about some trips that you got planned up. Coda, it seems like he's in good health right now. Your bond is going well with him. What can we look forward to for you guys this year?
So in March, we have the Global Pet Expo coming up. And then in June, we are going to Greenville, South Carolina for the Celebrity Catwalk.
Hmm.
I know that New York Fashion Week usually happens in February and September for pets. Anthony Rubio puts up a wonderful
Yes.
fashion show. So I have never had Coda participate, but my friend Bastian, um, I don't know if you guys know who Bastian is, but he was voted world's cutest rescue dog by People magazine this year.
Wow.
And that's how we connected because Coda was voted in the same competition in 2022 as a runner-up. And so Bastian and I have become friends because of the People magazine connection. And so I've been connecting with them to see if Coda could be a model for them this September. And we'll
Oh my
see if
God.
it pans out.
Ooh,
That's
I'm so
all up in
excited
the
for you.
air.
That's
So
amazing.
yeah,
That's
keep
the
your
dream. This is the
paws
year.
and
It's going to
fingers
Yeah, we'll
happen.
see
crossed.
you there. We'll see you
I
there.
hope so. And then I hope that I can attend Super Zoo. I want to attend Super Zoo, but it's in August. It's really hot. We'll see what's
Mm.
happening then, but
Hmm.
that's something that I also want to do. Other than that, we have no plans beyond September because after that is Halloween and that is our season. So we will be very busy for the rest of the
Amazing.
year
No
doing all
plans.
of
No
that.
plans.
Yeah.
Yeah, no plans at all. That's marked off in red on the calendar.
Yes.
Don't even think about it.
Yeah, we have new business cards for Coda to hand out this year. I
Whoa.
just updated his media kit. He has a
Wow.
Linktree profile. That's what I've been working on the last 3 weeks. Wow, it's a lot of hard work.
Hmm.
It
Um,
is.
Being
It really
momager.
is.
yeah, I have been in full momager mode the last few weeks in preparing for the Global Pet Expo. So hopefully it will be all worth it. We will make good memories. We will
Yeah,
make
well,
wonderful connections. There's so many people that I know from Instagram that are going, and I'm so
first time
excited
for
to
you?
meet everyone. First time for me.
Okay,
Oh,
amazing.
cool.
Yeah, so I'm very excited to meet so many people in person. So that's the
Sneha,
highlight
it
of my
sounds like
month.
he needs his own private jet
Hmm.
because, I mean, it's kind of ridiculous he doesn't have one yet. I can see
Hmm.
like the outline that's on your shirt. I can see that on the wing
Yeah.
or
Oh,
on the
yeah.
tail of the
You just
plane.
got to brand it.
Yeah, right.
If there is a private jet company
She's
listening
like,
to
I
this
do have one.
Yeah.
podcast,
Yeah. Yeah.
please reach out to us.
Yeah. Let's do a collab, right?
That's amazing. That's so funny. But for real, he should have
We
his
like
own
have
jet.
the cutest rescue dog in the world ready to be brand
Yeah.
ambassador for your jet. That's easy business right there for you.
I know. They should be thinking about it. If you have anyone in mind, send this podcast along, please. Thank you.
That's right. Give a listen, like, subscribe, save, pay, get us there in a jet. Done deal.
Perfect.
Well, hey, we're really excited to see you at Global Pet Expo. Erica, we wish you could make it sometime in the future. We got to find a time to connect. And also in Wisconsin,
For sure.
especially when it gets way too hot here in the summertime, we got to find an event either in Wisconsin or Massachusetts. I know we were
Hmm.
talking about doing one in the previous years, but that would be super fun to connect either in the
Yeah, it
Midwest or
would.
on the East Coast when the weather's better. And let's get that dog community out there. Zen Frenz will come in hot. Yoshi is a good traveler. He'll be with me as well too. Easy flight from Phoenix, and let's get things
Yes,
popping.
please.
Also,
Let's do
we
something for Suki's birthday. It's her 15th in August, and I feel like
okay.
we're at the end of August. So maybe we could keep that in mind. They have a big waterfront festival every year, and I know Suki thinks they put that on for her. And
Oh yeah,
I've encouraged it. I mean, let's
yeah.
be honest, but she comes in and she's always in some kind of fun outfit and she just stands and looks around at, all her admirers to
Nice of you to
be.
show. Nice of you to show.
Yes.
Yeah.
And she sees like all the booths set up and the
Oh yeah.
fireworks and like special
She's
things for
like,
kids and
"Mhm,
food
this is
trucks.
what I
And
was expecting, Mom.
this
Yes,
feels appropriate. Yeah,
it's co-
all
it's
along the
it's coming along
waterfront.
nicely.
Yes. I approve. So
Yeah.
yeah, that would be so fun.
And that's in Wisconsin?
Well, so half the year, it's a little strange. Half the year we live in Plymouth, Massachusetts, and then half the year we live in Madison, Wisconsin, where I'm from. And my husband's family is out in Massachusetts. So we get to spend time with everyone, which is nice, and be by the ocean. And Suki
Oh
loves
yeah.
to swim. So it's our happy place.
That's awesome. Well, I'm gonna have to visit Wisconsin at some point because I love
Yes,
cheese.
please. Oh my
And
gosh.
so,
Then that's
yeah.
reason enough. That's
Yeah.
reason enough to
Hmm.
come. And
Hmm.
then there's plenty of other reasons. But yeah, why not?
Yeah, that's the only reason actually. Wait. Oh,
Right.
yeah, you're there too.
Exactly.
We
I
can
can
all
show
be
you all the
cheeseheads
best places.
together.
Yeah,
Yes, and then I can bring
absolutely.
Coda's mac and cheese costume, maybe drive over with it, and
Easy.
then put Suki in it, and she can be mac
Yes,
and
please.
cheese for that day on her birthday.
Yes, please. Yes, please. Yes, please. Sounds amazing. I love it.
I don't know how Yoshi's going to keep up with Coda and with Suki with these costumes, but I have faith that you guys can show him the way. Show him how to get the job done.
We
He
can
might
try.
be
We
our
can definitely
Yeah,
try.
security.
yeah.
He might be too busy running
Back up,
security,
back up, back up, back
Yeah.
up,
Back up.
back up, back up, back up. Hey,
One of them gets a little too aggro and is like trying to get the autograph. Back up, back up.
hey, who do you know here? Hey, are they good? Sneha, are they good with you? Yeah? Okay, all right, you
Are they
guys
on
can
the
come
list?
back. You guys can come back. Yeah, you're good. Hey,
Also, it's not autograph, it's potograph.
Oh,
true,
yes. I'm sorry.
true,
Yes, of course.
true. And the paparazzi, we gotta watch out for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, hey, we're also excited to announce. So, because we will also be with you, Sneha, at Global Pet Expo, Zen Friends will have a booth there. We'll be there the March 24th, 25th, and 26th as well, too. So, if you guys are around in the Orlando, Florida area, please come and stop by. We're going to be doing a meet and greet with Coda the Canine Yoda and also with Sneha as well, too. So, come out. This is going to be at 1 o'clock on Friday in Orlando, Florida. Everyone listening to the Zen Friends podcast, you're all invited now to be able to make it out. We would love to connect with our ambassador network and our community out there, passionate pet owners. So March 26th, let's make a plan for it. And we'll also be making other plans this year as well, too, on the Zen Friends podcast of different places we can go and events that we can attend. We're all about it and really excited to have Sneha on today to be able to bridge this gap. Now we got a Houston, Texas connection. This is what we're talking about.
I'm
Awesome.
very excited. But also, isn't Friday, March 27th?
It may be. The dates are kind of
Okay.
getting lost in my head here.
Yeah,
So what
I
is
just want to make
Wednesday?
sure I don't show up on the wrong day.
Yeah. So that's probably means Wednesday is the 25th. Thursday's the 26th, and then Friday would be March 27th. Let's make it a date then. March 27th, 1 p.m. If you're going to be at the Global Pet Expo, come stop by the modern pet section. It's got a pink carpet. We'll be on the bottom right section of the map in booth 5903, and you can find myself and our Zen Friends team as well as Sneha there as well too. And let's do some meet and greets with ambassadors out there.
I'm very excited. Thank you so much for having us at your booth as well. I really appreciate that.
Of course. And thank you as well, too, for being a long-lasting, loyal, trusted Zen Friends brand ambassador. We're so excited that we got to connect with you once upon a time, but to become friends and to hear about your story today here on the Zen Friends podcast truly was inspiring. And I'm really happy to hear how far you've come with your relationship with dogs, being able to meet Coda at the time too, who had some trauma at the time as well when you were telling about being bit by another dog. Um, the universe works in mysterious ways, and to hear your story, it really seems like you two were meant to find each other. So I'm really happy that you found Coda and the bond that has developed since then. It's inspiring to hear.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I am very grateful. He's my soul dog, and I will do anything and everything to make sure that, he's loved and knows that he's loved.
Yeah, he is. You guys are doing an amazing job. All right, so I think that's a good time here to cut off
Well,
the Zen.
Sneha, please tell us you'll come back. Please, can we do another episode, maybe a costume themed episode or something? It would be so fun.
That would be so amazing. I would love that.
Great. Oh my gosh, it's a date. I'm excited. I'm excited for part two.
Let's go.
Okay, let's go.
Let's go. We'll keep it rolling
So
here.
nice to meet you.
Yeah, much more collabs to do as well here. So we got Coda the Canine Yoda, Sukiyaki Shiba here, Erica Nolan as well as Sneha on the podcast today. And then myself, Alex Gray from Zen Friends, being able to host you guys here. Give this a listen, Spotify, Apple Podcast, and YouTube as well. We also have, in honor of Women's History Month, we are running a promotion right now on zenfriends.com. So go use code WOMEN20. You can get 20% off any of your favorite Zen Friends products, or products, as we like to say here, for Women's History Month. Shout out to all of our amazing women out there who have paved the way for entrepreneurs and for business women and everything that you're doing out there. We see you, the hard work that you're putting in, and it's time to celebrate you here in the month of March. So go check that out. And Sneha, thank you so much for coming on the podcast today. We had a blast.
Thank you. Have a good day, you guys.
All
Thank you.
right,
You
take care.
too.
Bye.
See
Bye-bye.
ya.